गजाननं गणेश शरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननं गणेश शरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननं श्रीगुरुचरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननं श्रीगुरुचरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननं भवभयहरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननं भवभयहरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननं गणेश शरणं परमपावनं सत्यसायिनं गजाननं।
बोलो सत्य साई भगवान की जय। तो हमारे पास दो चॉइसेस हैं, या तो मैं एक संत मलूकदास जी थे वो गोरखपुर के पास, उनकी कुछ वाणी है उसमें से। तो ये जब 6 साल के थे तब उनको स्कूल में भेजा गया, तो उनको बोला टीचर ने कि भाई ये स्लेट ले और ये चौक ले और लिखना शुरू कर, क ख ग च च झ ट ट ढ प प व, you know the alphabets. And he straight away, first time he caught the pencil or the chalk and he wrote this book.
Wow.
These verses. So either we can take 1 or 2 verses of this, or we can do Navavidha Bhakti जो शबरी जी को नवविधा भक्ति। चलो तो है, ठीक है? हैं?
9 forms of devotion. Yep.
9 forms of devotion कहाँ गए? कहाँ है? यही है क्या? अरण्यकांड। So, what was last Sunday? Ram Navami.
Yep.
Ram Navami. And what is tomorrow? Hanuman Jayanti. So we are right in the middle of it, right? Not in the middle of it, we are just approaching Hanuman Jayanti. And who is Hanuman? English में हिंदी में mix करके चलेगा? And who is Hanuman? Hanuman is the greatest devotee of Sri Ram, isn't it? Not Ram, Sri Ram. Okay. And what is his quality? His quality is, he is very clear. Some people say that the world is real. Some people say the body is real because body is part of the world, so body is real. Some people say soul comes and goes. Once the body dies, the soul goes and takes another body. Some people say their soul becomes a bhoot. So the crazy people, they think that way also. And some people are continuously aspiring to be one with the Lord, and some people are aspiring to be liberated. And who is Hanumanji? Hanumanji is such a character, he represents our mind. He is such a character who has, by the grace of Sri Ram, he has complete clarity. As regards what? Ramchandra ji, after the Ravan was killed and he came back to Ayodhya, and Rama Pattabhishek is done and everything, and everyone is settled, relaxed. And one day he asked Hanumanji, Hanumanji was pressing his feet. He says, Yaar, why do I feel so much love for you? How do you see me? I know I've got a lot of love for you because you're just so dear. He says, but how do you see me? You are from the monkey tradition. I am a human. And what is your take on me? Why you are so dedicated to me? Why you are not wanting to go back to Pampa, Kerala, and be with your community. Why you want to be always with me? So how do you see me? And you know what Hanumanji said to him? He said, he just smiled, put his head down, still pressing the feet of Lord Sri Ram. And he says, Sri Ram, when I consider myself to be the body, I am your servant. When I consider myself to be the soul, I am a part of you. When I consider myself as the Atma, the consciousness, there is no difference between you and me. This clarity as regards our nature. See, mind will continuously keep coming and going. And so this understanding, is it for the Atma? No. It is for the mind. But our mind is still struggling to understand this. Hanumanji has realized this. So he takes whatever position and functions accordingly. And a similar devotee like this was Shabari. How do we get to Shabari? Once upon a time, I'll give you in short, I'll give you the whole Ramayana. So the whole story of Ramayana. So once upon a time, all the Prithvi, the Mother Earth, went along with the gods, went to Brahmaji, and she said, please, Trahima, Pahimam, Trahimam, help me. Why? Because there is so much atrocities happening on the earth that I am feeling very pained, and help karo. Brahmaji closed his eyes and he looked. He says, I don't have a solution for this. I personally don't have a solution for this, but I know one who can give us the solution. So all of them, they went to Lord Narayana. And Lord Narayana, when he was made the request, he says, don't worry, I will take care, and I will be born on the earth as Sri Ram in the Dasharath Raghukul, and take care of Ravana when the time comes. After that, Brahmaji and everyone is happy, gods. So where is Prithvi? Prithvi is our body. Which are the Devas? Devas are the sun god is behind the right eye, moon god is behind the left eye, the Indra is in our hands and mind, Agni, fire, is our speech, Vishnu is in our feet, Brahmaji, he is the creator, he is in the dream state, and Ashwini Kumars, they are at the nostrils, Shiva, he is in our heart. So all the 33 gods, people have said 33 lakhs or 33,000, there are 33 gods. 33 gods, they are all located within this body. So body and all the organs, all the potentialities within us, they all went to where? Brahmaji. Who is Brahmaji? Who has 4 heads, right? So what is our Brahmaji? What is Brahmaji inside us? Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. Mind, intellect, memory and ego. Means it went to the intellect, which is beyond the breath, beyond the mind to the intellect. And Brahmaji said, our intellect said, I don't have solution for this. Let's pray go to the higher, the one without whom we all cannot function. God cannot function without Narayana, Parabrahma, Paramatma. The various gods, they cannot function without that Parabrahma, Paramatma. Body cannot function without Parabrahma, Paramatma. In other words, if that life spark is not there, body, gods and intellect, they have got no meaning because body dies. So eventually, now we'll do fast forward now. So this is the reason, because all the gods and Prithvi, they went. Why does Lord come down on earth? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samstharpanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever there is atrocities, Paritranaya sadhunam, first step, he comes mainly to protect good people. Good people, you are good people, you are devotees of the Lord. We are good people, we are talking on the story of the Lord. Good people are also who have a clear heart. they are not manipulative, they are not corrupt, they are not angry, jealous, envy with others, like Duryodhana and Ravana. That type of behavior is not there. So to protect good people, but how do you protect good people? By putting the bad people in their place. Vinashaya cha dushkrutam. Once these two are done, you protect the good by destroying the bad. Then what do? Because with the good people, dharma is there. Righteousness, goodness, good qualities are with the good people. So dharma sansthapanarthaya. So God himself, like Ramchandraji, what did he teach us? How to be the best son, the best husband, the best brother, the best student, the best warrior, the best enemy. Any role he finds himself in, he is the best. And this is what we learn from Ram. What? How to keep dharma sans. This is the dharma, that whatever you do in life, you do it to the best. So you are listening, listen in the best possible manner. If I'm talking, I must talk with best possible manner. How? With inspiration and love. How do you listen with best manner? With devotion and surrender. This is the best. And don't go to sleep. That is also best. Neither if I'm talking, you go to sleep. It doesn't. So Ramchandraji showed, by his own example, he showed that how one can perform all the roles and without any disturbance. Perform all the roles and be always inspired. So after that, as they grow up, he was sent to, he gave lot of joy to Dasharath and our Kausalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. And how they got birth, how he came about was, Dasharath ji had a daughter and Shanta, and he was not getting a boy because he has to hand over the kingdom to the boy, and he was not getting it. So one day, he was already old, and he had how many? 368 wives or something, 58 wives. And why? In those days it was allowed, but seeing his father and seeing the misery of his father, Ramchandraji committed to only one wife. He says, I will not get married more than once. So he calls Vishwamitra Vashishta sage Vashishta. He says, I am not getting a son. He says, I cannot help you. I think we should call your daughter's husband Rishya Shringa, and he will come and he has the power. He's the right person. So you go there, go bare feet. You don't go in your kingly attire, go as a bhikshuk. And he goes and he asks and he agrees. They come, they do the fire sacrifice, the fire god comes out of it. He gives the payasam, the sweet, to Dasharath. Dasharath gives 50% to Kausalya, 50% to Kaikeyi, and then Sumitra also comes. So then both of them give 50-50 of their part to Sumitra. So that's how Sumitra got two sons, Lakshman and Shatrughna. Kausalya got Ram and Kaikeyi got Bharat. This way the four boys were there, and they gave lot of joy to the parents, and they were the apple of the eye for all the palace, not only the entire kingdom. And now a time came, 7-8 years old, they were sent to the ashram of sage Vashishta, and there they studied the scriptures. Within 3 days Ramchandraji studied everything. Within 3 days. And then Sage Vashishta, this is smart, this is being with yourself all the time. And then what to do rest of the time? He said, Ram, now you teach your brothers. So he became the teacher and he taught all his brothers. And after that, once the studies were over, at age of 15 or 16, they came back to the palace. And they asked, Ramchandraji asked dad dad must have told them, the King Dasharath, that now that you are back, why don't you all go and see how big our kingdom is, go around Ayodhya and everything. So they go on the chariots. All the other brothers, they build, rest houses, dig wells, make roads. But Ramchandra ji, what is he doing? He is having satsang with all the sannyasis, having satsang with the rishi munis, and studying the deep nuances of the scriptures. And when they come back, Ramchandra ji thinking about what have I learned from this trip. Yes, the kingdom is there, the wells are there, all that is good. But actually speaking, question is, then there is no purpose if every Mahatma has renounced everything to pursue the divine, then why do I want to become the king? I don't want to become the king, I want to renounce. And he locked himself up in the room, and after 10 days, King Sage Vashishta comes and brings him out. वहाँ पे वो Yoga Vashishta was given to him, and his cobwebs in the head, they were cleared. And just when it was cleared, Vishwamitra came. He said, "Can I get your?" And the king Dasharath, he says, "Oh Vishwamitra ji, I am so blessed that you have come. Please sit on my throne. Ask me whatever you want, and I'll give it to you." He says, "I want your 2 sons." He says, "No, you can take anything else, but not my 2 sons." He says, "No, I want only 2 sons. You gave me your word. You took the water and took the sankalp that you will give me whatever I want. I want your 2 sons, because I am doing a yajna, and there are many rakshasas coming, demons are coming and disturbing. So you come. I want them to protect." He says, "They are only 16 years old. How can they help you? I will come with my whole army." He says, "If I wanted you, I would have asked you. I want your 2 sons." Because Vishwamitra has a bigger plan because he knows Ramchandra ji is Lord Narayana himself. So he is being the instrument in bringing Sita and Ram together. So Dasharath ji calls Vashisht ji and he says, "Yaar, boss, what should I do? He is asking for my 2 sons and I cannot live without Ram." He says, "It is a blessing in disguise. He is taking you. Ramchandra ji is Lord Narayana himself. Have you forgotten?" Well, he couldn't remember, because just like you don't remember that your children are nothing but Ram and Lakshman, you think they are your children. Huh? This is where our problem is. You forget that she is Sita and you forget that he is Ram. This is where the problem is, because essentially that is our nature. So Dasharath was reminded by Vashisht ji that Vishwamitra is taking, he will make her one with Sita and bring her back. You will be very happy. And then for that moment, Dasharath remembers. He says, "Okay, take it. I am very happy. And now Ram and Lakshman, Vashisht ji, Vishwamitra ji is your father, mother, guru, everything. You don't think about us. You have to follow every word that he says." And after saying that, and when Ramchandra ji and Lakshman ji go away with Vishwamitra, Dasharath ji again forgets. It is normal. In Satsang we remember, after Satsang we forget. So this happens, and there Ramchandra ji kills Tadka and Subahu, and he shoots one arrow to Marich, and Marich goes away 1,000 kilometers and lands in Sri Lanka, because he was from Sri Lanka, Ravana's mama.
Okay.
And after that he goes and they go to Mithila, where Sita ji is there and Janak Maharaj is there. And why? Vishwamitra doesn't say we are going to see King Janak. He says there is a great Shiv Dhanush, and that Shiv Dhanush, nobody is able to lift it. We are going to go and see the ceremony that is every 12 years they open it and they allow people to lift it, and we'll go for that ceremony. So they go, and on the way they come to one Matanga ashram where Ahilya is sitting as has been cursed, and she is like a stone, and she is there, and Vishwamitra says, "Touch her by feet." He says, "I will not touch. You tell me that it is a woman, and then you tell me to touch her with feet. I will not touch." He says, "No, she is only waiting for so many years so that you can come and touch her with the dust of your feet will make her back into a human being." And immediately she becomes the human, and before she falls at the feet of Ramchandraji falls at the feet of Ahalya and says, sorry Mata, I did this, but I can't disobey the order of my Guru Maharaj. And then she falls at his feet, takes the circumambulations, and she is the wife of Gautama. That's a different story, another time we will take. And then they go there, Ramchandraji lifts the bow, Pinaka Dhanush, breaks it up, while he is putting the pratyancha, the string, he pulls it down, it breaks. And then Ramchandraji and Sitaji are married. They come back. On the way back, they meet Parshuram, and all that story is there. They come back for a few years. They are very nicely. Everything is going. Then suddenly Kaikeyi gets this brainwave that my son should become the king, and this corruption has been brought about by Manthara, who is a crooked lady by mind and by body. Yeah. And she fills the ears of her queen, because she knows the Kaikeyi since she was a baby. So she feels, okay, she must be saying something. But that night, the king, Dasharatha, he had announced that Ramchandraji is going to be the crown prince, not king, crown prince tomorrow. And overnight, the whole thing changes. And she asks for the two boons, and Ramchandraji he renounces the Yuvraj Pad, and he is asked to go to the forest. When he goes to the forest, what to do? Then there he meets Guha. Guha helps him cross the river. After crossing the river, they live in, where did they live first? Chitrakoot. First they lived in Chitrakoot. And basically Chitrakoot is a place where lot of Mahatmas are there, and they spend lot of time there with the Mahatmas. But what was happening is Ayodhya is not far away from there. Still people were coming again and again to visit, and it was destroying the jungles. The animals were getting displaced. He said, we can't continue to live here. They lived there for 3-4 months or 6 months, and then they start moving from there. They ask, where should I go? And they are suggested that you go to the Dandakaranya. Dandakaranya is the thick jungles of the south, and the beginning of the jungle is from the Vindhyachal mountains, and the place they go and stay is Panchavati in Nasik. And there they stay for 13 years. 13 years, 6 months, they are living happily. And while they are living happily, Ramchandraji, they keep visiting various ashrams. Very many Mahatmas keep coming and visiting and getting guidance from Ramchandraji. And one day, our Surpnakha, the sister of Ravana, she comes and she sees the Ramchandraji, and she falls in love. Not love like from heart. It is more lust. It's a body attraction. Because Ramchandraji and Lakshman are so beautiful, handsome, long-armed, ekdam tejasvi, and she just falls and she says, I want to get married to you, I can be yours. And she gives up her Rakshasi form and takes the beautiful girl form. She has that capacity. He says, see, I am already married, I got Sita, you go to my brother. The brother Lakshman, he is away from his wife is in he has come with me, and कोई बात नहीं, सुन रहा है, कान से सुनते हैं, आँख से नहीं. You understand Hindi? You understood that? Yes. Am I on your side? So he says that, Lakshmana says, yeah, you see, I am a servant. If you get married to me, you will also have to become the servant of Ram and Sita. Do you like that? She says, no. Then he says, go back to Ram. Best you marry with Ramchandraji. Again Ramchandraji says, no. And she goes back to, Acha, at least you get married to me, Lakshmana. And she feels threatened by Sita ji. She thinks she is not able to get these two boys because of Sita. Two men because of Sita. So she about to attack Sita. Lakshman ji gets the message from the eye of Ramchandra ji, Kataksha Netra, and immediately cuts off her nose and cuts off her ears. And she is bleeding and she goes screaming back to her cousin brothers, Khar and Dushan, and tells them, this is what your sister has to face when you two strong and powerful brothers are there. They were there in the forest itself. They say, we will straight away take revenge for this act that has been committed on you. They go, Khara, Dushan and Trishira. Three of these Rakshasas go, and Ramchandra ji single-handedly, he tells Lakshmana, take Sita into the cave, and all by himself he kills the entire army. The three main Rakshasas and the 14,000 strong army, single-handedly, within 1.5 hours he finished everyone. So how great a warrior he must be. But Surupnakha, when she saw this destruction, she runs back to Ravana and she says, instead of telling that this has happened, she says, you know, when I was in the jungle of Dandakaranya, I saw two wonderful, smart guys, and they had a very beautiful girl with them, and I thought of bringing that girl for you because you enjoy possessing good, beautiful girls. So first she taps on the negative side of Ravana, and she says, and when I tried to do that, one of the two boys, he cut my nose and are you going to sit like this? So Ravana keeps thinking, first he thinks that she is just tricking him. Eventually when he hears about Sita, the most beautiful girl on this planet, now his lust is ignited. So he wants to possess her. So he goes to Marich. Marich is the one whom Ramchandra ji had shot, and he had fallen 1,000 kilometers away in Sri Lanka. Ravana goes to him. He says, I want you to come and help. Marich says, he used to be afraid of Ra. So Ram is also starting with Ra. Ravan is also starting with Ra. So he is afraid of Ra, word Ra. So he says, if I have to die, if I don't listen to Ravana, I will die. So if I have to die, why not die at the hands of Ram? So, okay, he says, what do you want me to do? He says, okay, let's go. So they go by Pushpak Viman, by the UFO of those days or plane of those days. Why UFO? Because UFO doesn't make any sound. UFO doesn't use any physical energy. It uses the etheric energy. So he goes and he says, you become the golden deer and attract the attention of Sita. And he does that. Ramchandra ji runs after him, and while dying he says, hey Sita, hey Lakshmana, and Sita tells Lakshmana, you go and help, I think something has happened to Ram. Nothing can happen to Ram, yet Sita becomes scared that something has happened to Ram. So Lakshmana puts the Lakshman Rekha, goes to Ram, and Ram says, why did you come here? I told you not to come. You be with Sita. He said, she told me that I have to go. So what can I do? You are like my dad and mom for me. So I came. By the time they go back, they find Sita is not there. In the meantime, Ravan, he has taken the form of a sannyasi, and he says, Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi, and he tricks her into crossing the line. He could not cross the line, but he makes Sita cross the line and give him the food or fruits. The moment she crosses the line, he catches her and takes her to Sri Lanka in his plane. And while going, the Jatayu sees from the tree that someone is screaming and crying. So he goes to protect, but he is killed by Ravana. And now Ram and Lakshman, when they come back, they find Sita is not there. Ramchandra ji loses the plot. He keeps crying. He says, trees, have you seen my wife? Flowers, have you seen my wife? Animals, have you seen my wife? That time Lakshmana gives him knowledge. Right? Nothing go. Ramchandra ji himself is of nature of knowledge. But there Lakshman Gita, comes. And when they are going, they come across Jatayu. Now, Ramchandraji had not been able to do the last rites for his father. So when he goes there, Jatayu is still breathing. He says, I was trying to protect your Sita ji, and Dashrath is like my brother, and I tried to protect my daughter, but I could not, and Ravana did this to me. Ravana has taken your wife to his kingdom. And there he, keeping his head in the lap of Sri Ram, he leaves his last breath. After the cremation of Jatayu, then they keep moving forward. They come across Viradha, Rakshas. He is killed. Then they come to Kabandha. Kabandha is a Gandharva, and he has got long arms and his head is in his stomach. So he has caught all both of them, and he says eventually Ramchandraji kills him, and along with Lakshmana, and immediately the moment he is killed, he takes the divine form, and he says that thank you for releasing me from this Rakshas yoni. It was because of a curse. So they say, and without asking, he says, if you go in the direction of Rishyamukh Parvat, you will come across Sugriv, and there you will get help to find Sita ji. Now they are going on their journey from, after killing Kabandha, towards Pampa Sarovar, where the Rishyamukh Parvat is. On the way, as they are passing through the jungle, they see a kutia. And that kutia, theek ho aap? So when they see the kutia, here it says, हाँ यहाँ पे है, कहाँ गया? हाँ, कही निज धर्मता ही समुझावा, निज पद प्रीति देखी मन भावा, रघुपति चरण कमल सिरुनाई, गया उगगन अपनी गति पाई. श्री राम ही अपना धर्म कहकर उसको, किसको? कबंध को समझाया. He explained to him, and that where are we? अपने चरणों में प्रेम देखकर वह उनके मन को भाया. And I already told you this part, that Kabandh, who was actually a Gandharva, because of a curse, he falls at his feet, he takes 3 pradakshinas, and he goes back to his abode, his world where he is living. Thereafter, ताहि देई गति गम राम उदारा, सबरी के आश्रम पगुधारा, शबरी देखी राम गृह आए, मुनि के बचन समुझ जिय भाए. Thereafter, Ramchandraji, as he is walking towards the Pampa Sarovar, towards the Rishyamukh Parvat, he comes across the Ashram of Shabari. Shabari is a very old lady, and she is a tribal girl, and she was in ashrams. Tribal people were not allowed, but Matanga Muni was there, and Matanga Muni, when he was getting old and he was about to breathe his last, that time Shabriji said, what do I do? Where do I go? I cannot. He says, you have served me very well. She used to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, clean the ashram up, no chance of complaint. He says, you have served without any desire that if I serve, I will ask Swamiji this. Not for that. You just serve because that is the thing to be done. Because of this seva, I bless you. What? That Parabrahma Paramatma, that infinite reality which has appeared on earth as Sri Ram, he will himself come to your kutia and give you darshan, and you will attain liberation. See how beautiful. हमारे भी जीवन में कोई ऐसे आ जाए. And with that, she goes, she builds this kutia, and she makes every day, because my Guru has told that Lord will come to me, every day with the hope, expectation, love, devotion. She used to clean the path as far as the eyes could see, and every day she will collect fruits and tubers so that when the Lord comes, she is able to feed him, take care of him, and therefore Ramchandraji, now the moment has come that Ramchandraji has come, and तब मुनि मातंग वचनों के हाँ, at that time Shabari remembered the words of Matanga Muni when she saw this beautiful, handsome two brothers, because he had told two brothers, Ram and Lakshman will come. And she's seen two brothers, and all because she has never seen Ram. She has never seen Ram. So she only believes what her teacher told her. So she is remembering that my teacher said two young boys will come, they are handsome, they are carrying the dhanush and this and that, and wearing a pitambar, and they are coming. She remembers the words, and immediately the tears start. What happens? सरसिज लोचन बाहु विशाला जटा मुकुट सिर उर बनमाला श्याम गौर सुंदर दो भाई सबरी परिचरण सब लपटाई. She saw Shyama, a gaur. One is dark colored and one is light colored. Meaning, ek Shyam is the rain cloud color, and the other is like the तुम्हारे जैसा रंग गोरा. And she immediately, her heart was filled with love, and she went and caught the feet of Shri Ram, and then prema magana mukha bachanana ava puni puni pada saroj siranava sadara jalalay charana pakhare puni sundara asana baithare. She was so overwhelmed with love by seeing Sri Ram that no words were coming out of her mouth, and again she was falling at the feet of Sri Ram, and then thereafter she washed their feet and gave them a place to sit down, which she had already, every day she used to prepare it. She made them sit down. कंदमूल फल सुरस अति दिए राम कहुआनी प्रेम सहित प्रभु खाए बारंबार बखानी. And thereafter she, all the fruits that every morning she used to go and collect, and tubers she used to collect, she fed both the brothers. यहाँ पे ये नहीं बताया कि उन्होंने बेर खाए, और वो तुलसी रामायण नहीं, वो वाल्मीकि में आता, इधर नहीं आता. So she just gives them the food and everything, and again and again she was singing their glory. पानी जोरी आगे बैठाड़ी प्रभु ही बिलो की प्रीति अति बाड़ी कही विधि स्तुति करऊं तुम्हारी अधम जाति मैं जड़मति भारी. She's standing in front of, old lady standing in front of two young boys with folded hands, and she is saying that the love within my heart is so, it's reaching its peak. And she said, but I don't know, I am a adhamadham, I am a tribal girl, I have never studied, I don't have any proper etiquettes, I don't know how to sing your glory. I am feeling my heart is feeling the love, but my mouth is not able to express that to you. How do I do that? And therefore, she doesn't stop there. And she says that I am also a stupid woman. She's talking about herself. Adhamate adhama adhama ati nari tina mahamay mati manda adhari कह रघुपति सुनु भामिनी बाता मानऊ एक भगति करनाता. When she says that among the worst ladies I am the worst of the lot, and on top of that I am without any buddhi, I am not intelligent. On top of that I am a bhil jati, I am a tribal. And therefore, I am the worst that you can ever come across, O Lord Sri Ram. And then Ramchandra says, Kaha Raghupati sunu bhamini bada. What does Raghupati say? Sri Ram say? He says, oh beautiful woman, to that old woman with no teeth, the skin is all jhurriyan pad gayi hai. To that Shabari, he is saying, oh beautiful woman, he says, for me, what caste you what caste you belong to, whether you are intelligent or not intelligent, whether you are educated or not educated, whether you have sanskar or no sanskar, this does not matter. My relationship is only is the relationship of love. You have always loved, you have for so many years, with love you have been waiting for me, and that is enough. And that is what has pulled me to you. I don't know I was coming to you, but your bhakti has pulled me to you. And this is the relationship that I accept. I do not accept the relationship based on body. I do not accept the relationship based on jati. I do not accept the relationship based on intelligence or wealth or etc. My relationship with anyone is only on basis of the love that we have for each other. And in this way, jati pati kul dharma badhai dhana khala dhana bala parijana guna chaturai bhagati hina narasohai kaisa binu jal barit dekhiya jaisa. Same thing what I just told. Jati pati kula dharma badhai dhan bala kutumba guna chaturta. How smart you are, how intelligent you are, how strong you are, all etc. etc. All these things do not affect me, and I do not assess a person based on that, because all these things are like you see clouds but there is no rain coming. You know, during 90s when you were all small, but when we had drought here, we used to see clouds coming but no water coming, falling down. And Victoria was in rationing at that time. You could only take bath, only 4-minute showers. You could not water your garden morning or evening, and we had to change all the plants at that time. So what is that? So clouds give you the hope that rain will come, but no rain came. So all these qualities which you have mentioned, jati, kul, dharma, etc., all these are like clouds, but that is not it. I only believe in, and to tell this, to tell this bhakti, because she's having the inferiority complex. She is feeling that I am a nobody, I am the worst than the worst. To bring about inspiration in this old decrepit Shabari, Ramchandra ji says, Navada bhagati kahu tohi pahi, savadhana sunu dharu manamahi, prathama bhagati santana karasanga, dusari rati mama katha prasanga. So she is saying, I am bad, I am worthless. Ramchandra ji cannot say that no, you are not worthless, no, you are such a great person. He doesn't. So he wants to make her feel good about herself, but at the same time give her an instruction without letting her know that she is getting an instruction. And in those passage of words between Ram and Shabari, she will keep getting pumped up. Pumped up means getting inspired. So he says the first bhagati means the first relationship of love, the first aspect of devotion is satsanga, prathama bhakti santanakara sanga, that have company of good people, have company of saints and sages. And who are saints and sages or good people? Those who are always forgiving, those who are not competing, those who are not comparing, who are simple, those in whom there is no manipulation. Such are santa. And most importantly, these are all expressions, most importantly, The Santa are those people who are one with the Lord. They have surrendered to the Lord or surrendered to the Parabrahma Paramatma. Such people, we must seek out their company. You go to India, you must go and visit such places. अब जैसे आप जाके आए हो, why you went to Puttaparthi? Now there is no person there, but you feel that the presence of Sai Baba is still there. We see the picture of Sai Baba, we feel his presence is there. But there are, if you have it in your heart that this entire creation is nothing but the glory of Sai Baba or Sai Ram or Sri Ramchandra Ji, then if you maintain that conviction in your heart, the saints and sages will start coming into your life. You will hear from someone, there is one saint here, go and visit. Go and visit. That's what we do. Every trip I go, I visit, I find out, someone tells me and I go and find out. If not, I go to places like you have gone, Puttaparthi, Tiruvannamalai, or some samadhi of some Mahatma. So, just like when we sit near fire, what happens when we sit near fire on a wintry day? The cold that we are feeling just by being in the presence of fire, the cold goes away and we feel warm and comfortable. Exactly the same way, when we are in the company of masters, when we are company of the saints and sages, our ignorance goes away and our mind becomes calm and peaceful. This is the first devotion. Second, Dusari Rati Mama Katha Prasanga. When your mind, so you have not seen God. Have you seen Ram? No. We have seen Sai Baba. But as much as Sai Baba is God, so also you are God, she is God, he is God, she is God. Every person, in fact, everything in this creation cannot be outside God. But do we have the vision? We see differences, we see shortcomings, we see errors, we see corruption, we see manipulation. This is how society has, living in this society we have developed. Why? Because we did not have the company of saints and sages, good people. Now, you have never seen God. So you go to that person who has seen God, who has become one with God. Those are saints and sages. Once you experience that calm mind and joy without a reason, then what do? Automatically in your heart and mind, the interest to listen to the story of God, which is Ram, here in this case, automatically develops. We are interested, just like you are interested. Thoda idhar udhar distraction chalta hai, lekin in general we are interested about Hanuman story, about Ram story, about Krishna story. So second one is Dusari Rati Mama Katha Prasanga. We enjoy listening to the story of Sri Ram again and again and again and again. Then Gurupada Pankaj Seva, Tisari Bhagati Amana, Chauthi Bhagati Mama Guna, Ganakara Ikapatata Jigana, Mangala Bhavana Mangala Hari, Dravam Sudasharata Ajira Bihari. Third devotion, third bhakti is remain egoless, have no arrogance. Arrogance is like, very simply put, water can take any form. You put the water in this glass, it takes the form of the glass. You put the water into a test tube, it will take the form of the test tube. You put the water into a pot, it will take the form of a pot. But when water crystallizes, what is it called? Ice. Ice is uncomfortable everywhere. You put ice in this, it cannot take the form of the glass. What will happen? Kad andar awaaz aayegi na. You put it in the test tube, it cannot enter into test tube. So, What is ice? Ice is crystallization of water. Similarly, we are consciousness, we are like water. We should be comfortable anywhere, wherever, in any company, with any person. But what happens? If we are not comfortable, it is because we have abhiman, we have arrogance, we have pride, meaning our consciousness, which is infinite, has become crystallized. Now, just like ice cube is uncomfortable everywhere, we also become uncomfortable everywhere. We become uncomfortable in relationships, we become uncomfortable with good people. There are people for good, they don't want to go in the company of saints and sages also. They don't want to go to temple also. Big ego. That abhiman is because of that. So when we are in company of saints and sages, when we listen, enjoy the story of Sri Ram or gods, our ego starts melting. Allow it to melt. Allow it to melt. Devotion melts your crystallized personality. हम जो करते हैं ना, मैं बकरा बोलता है मैं I am this, I am that, I am a self-made person, I came from who cares? In God's eyes, where you came from, who you are, does not matter. He only wants you to surrender and be one with Him. That's all. So, in one line, if you get that understanding, you understand what is being free of abhiman, free of arrogance, and where do you, and free of Sri Ram. And here he also says, Guru ke charan kamlon ki seva. And also, Ramchandra ji is not coming and giving you the lecture. So who is giving? Tulsidas ji is giving. You have never seen God. So who told you about Ram? Our Ramcharitmanas told. Our Sai Ram, Satya Sai Baba, he used to talk about Ram's story. So through these great masters, they are like your Guru then. Tulsidas ji is like our Guru. Without him we wouldn't have this. So we must continue to have love and devotion and service at the feet of the Guru Maharaj, from whom we are learning, from whom we have come to have proximity to the Lord. So यहाँ पे ये बोलते हैं, and the fourth devotion is that कपट छोड़कर मेरे गुण समूह को गान करें. That give up all shortcomings in yourself. Stop manipulating. What happens in our life is we learn something in Ramcharitmanas or in some satsang, and we want to put it, we want to see it practiced by everyone else but not ourselves. This is kapat. So here he is saying, give up all and start contemplating on the qualities of the Sri Ram. See, very simple. Who is your ideal in life? Michael Jackson, Sri Ram, Krishna, Shivji, Hanuman. So I'm making you understand the principle. Whoever you look up to, when I was in school, there was one very strong, confident school captain when we were young, about your age. So I used to look up to him. Then I used to, because I'm continuously wanting, wherever I would see, I will keep looking at him. Slowly, I started walking like him, I started talking like him, I started behaving like him. फिर कुछ मेरे दोस्तों ने पकड़ के मेरे को लाइन पे लगा दिया. The same way, if a person is a dancer and he looks at Michael Jackson, he starts moonwalking. A Bharatnatyam or a Kathak dancer, she goes to her teacher, and why you are not able to learn from your teacher? Because you are not surrendered to the teacher. But if the student is surrendered and the student looks up to the teacher, then all the qualities and the capabilities of the teacher will come into you. So same thing is here, that instead of contemplating how the world is not Ramamaya, how I am not Ramamaya, instead think of the qualities of Sri Ram and keep falling. Every day you go deeper and deeper in love with the rich Ram. Then all his qualities will start automatically, without you knowing, they will start expressing through you. Mantra japa mama dhrudha viswasa panchama bhajana subed prakasa chhatadama sila birati bahukarama nirata nirantara sajjana dharma. And what is the fifth one? And how do you bring the qualities of Sri Ram into you? How do you contemplate on Ram? Here it says, Mantra japa mama dhrida vishwasa. That with conviction, with love, devotion, you chant the name of the Lord. How do you chant the name of the Lord? Loudly. Don't care about the world. Even if you are a bathroom singer, it's okay. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Bas uske prem se andar, find out. And if you are not comfortable with people, then chant Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Chant that loud enough so that you can hear. Maybe you don't want to disturb everyone. नहीं तो रात को डैडी आके बोलेंगे, hey, मेरे को सुबह काम पे जाना है, आवाज कम करो. मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरे पेरेंट्स मुझे बोलते थे. Then I had to realize. I said, I'm doing something good. Why are they saying like this? But then I realized, no, what right do I have to disturb them? So I used to lower down my pitch. क्योंकि रात भर बैठ के मैं ध्यान करता बैठता, जप करते बैठता था. Then Panchama Bhajana Sobed Prakasa. And the fifth devotion is that whatever is given in the Vedas, what are the Vedas talking about? Vedas, the ultimate knowledge in the Vedas is Upanishads. And Upanishads have got only one statement, that you are not other than the divine in essence. When Hanumanji said, when I consider myself as consciousness, there is no difference between you and me, O Lord. This is the Veda. Vedas do not talk about I am a part of Lord. In Vedas there is no God. There is mention of the Lord, no doubt, but it is only a stepping stone to come to recognize that you and the divine, and that divine, see, gods are many. There is Krishna as God, there is Ram as God, there is Shiva as God, there is Brahmaji as God, there are so many Devis. Which one will you go after? If I go in one God, then there will be fear. Other gods will, I am feeling guilty. Before I used to chant Ram and now I am in love with Shiva. Oh, I hope Ram does not punish me for that. It can happen, no? Our mind it imagines many, many things. So there is one which is beyond all of them. Beyond all the gods. And that is Parabrahma Paramatma, the untouched consciousness, the truth, the absolute, the reality. So Vedas, the Upanishads, they talk about that. Then Chatadama Sila Birati Bahukarma. And the sixth one is that as we start taking the name of the Lord, as we chant the Lord, we are slowly, we start, as the love starts developing inside for the Lord, automatically the senses start coming under control. We are not interested in what the eyes are seeing, ears are hearing, nose is smelling. We want to experience the Lord in our heart. So automatically, यहाँ पे जो बोलते हैं क्या? Chata Dhamma Sila. Chata, the 6 qualities: Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. Shama is control of your mind, Dhamma is control of your senses, Uparama is where the mind is not leaking out of your senses and getting attached to the world. Titiksha, endurance, joyful endurance. When exams are coming, hopefully you are joyfully not watching the serials or the TV or the iPad. You are interested. I have to pass and I must do my best. So, joyful endurance. How do you do these four? With faith. Then your mind becomes content, samadhan. This is the sixth one. These are the shatha. Then, nirata nirantara sajjana dharma, and as a result, the person starts functioning in his daily life righteously, according to the dharma, according to virtues, and all the vice, all the negativity that starts leaving him. Is it not true? Every night when you go to sleep, you think only of sleep, then only you can go to sleep. But the one who is thinking of sleep, can he go to sleep? No, he has to die. He has to dissolve. Waker, you as a person right now, you are an individual, you are in the waking state. But when you think of sleep, the waker has to dissolve. Only then sleep will begin. Or we can say the waker has to surrender at the altar of the sleep. But with that surrender, daddy, mummy, brother, sister, school, how old I am, I was born, or what disease I have, past, future, everything dissolves away, isn't it? When ego dissolves, everything that it is identified with also dissolves. Then alone realization happens. So here he is saying that such a person, he lives in this world without getting attached to anything, and such a person lives with full inspiration, doing whatever life is presenting to him at that given moment. So he called, I had the time, I could say I am not free, but then I am lying to myself. So what did I say? Yes, I am free on this particular day. So I came, now I am here, doing the lecture, giving a talk on this Sri Ram. Hopefully 100%. Hopefully you are listening 100%. See? So am I attached? Whether you understand or not? No, I am not attached. Whether you understand, don't understand, who cares? Then why am I speaking? I am speaking to remind my mind that this is worthy of interaction. The only thing that we should do is satsang. In that, if you all benefit, good. Oh, after this satsang, now when I go away, oh, I think Arti and Gautams should call me once again. Is this the expectation? No. So, live in the world without attachment, but live in the world with 110% inspiration. And that inspiration comes by our surrender to God. And how do you surrender to God? By taking His name. All the 6 points that we have just said. And then he says, Satava samamahimaya jagadekha mote sant adhika karilekha आठव जथा लाभ संतोषा सपने हु नहीं देखई पर दोषा. Seventh devotion is that this entire world is the devotee starts seeing the entire world in himself. He doesn't see that he is in the world. What is your experience? I was born from my parents. What is your experience? That this world was there before I came into the earth, came into life. What is your understanding? That after I die, the world will continue. Wrong conclusion. And what is the truth? The truth is that the whole world is existing in me. How do you come to this conclusion? Where is the whole world existing? In space, correct? If there is no space, can the universe be there? Can it be there? Not possible. How do you know there is space? How do you know there is space? Because you have a mind, isn't it? First is your eyes see there is, you can't see space, you can only see objects, but your mind, a brain dead person also has eyes. Can he see space? No. So you need brain, you need the mind. So the space is a concept of your mind projected outside, and that space is inclusive of the entire universe. Correct? Who knows the mind? I know the mind. Who says mind can think of space? Who knows the space? Can mind know the space? Mind only projects, space. But there is some intelligent person behind, no? That intelligent person I am. That intelligent person I am. So when you say, what do you know this? You say, yes, I know this is a glass of water. So glass of water came in your mind, but that thought of glass of water cannot come if there is no I. I is interacting with all knowledge that is coming in the mind. So this is very technical. I'm not going to go into that. Bhutakash, Chittakash, Chidakash. So ye sadhana hai iski. So here when he is saying, see that the whole world is existing in you. For that, you can't look at the world and say the whole world is in me. We have to merge into the divine. Now, I'll give you one example where you are already having that experience. Every night you go to sleep, do you get a dream? Do you see air, fire, water, earth? Do you see plant, animals, trees, cities? Do you see people being born and dying? Do you see people talking to each other? All that happens in the dream, isn't it? Where does it come from? It doesn't come from outside. So what happened there? Your mind alone projected the entire dream with all the variety. And where does it all go back? When you wake up, back into the mind. Do you give any value to the dream? No. You don't give value to the dream. But what is your experience when it was projection of the mind. Okay? So this is from Vedanta point of view. From God point of view, the ocean says, all the waves are in me. The ocean says, I am in all the waves. Ishavasya sarvam. The gold says, I am in all the ornaments. The mud says, I am pervading all the pots. The space says, I am, without me, none, the universe is not possible. From me only space, air, fire, water, earth, the universe came. I am pervading the universe. But space cannot have validity if I is not there, isn't it? So I is pervading that space also. So this is how, when we have done the 7 devotions, you will come to this stage where you start seeing the whole world as an extension of yourself. Just like you are consciousness and you see that this body is an extension of the self. Then a mother can experience, the children are there, she experiences the children as extension of herself, isn't it? Because she has given birth. The father and mother see this fellow, his face is like me, his ears are like me, his lips are like me, his nose is like me, he talks like me, or he eats like me, and we start saying, because it's an extension of ourselves. Now, by devotion to the Lord, what did we come to know? That we are Satchidanand Swarup. Now we are seeing the whole world as an extension of me. Our vision has gone through transformation. First we are seeing the world with full of ugliness and beauty. Now we are seeing only divinity. This is the Radha vision, Radha or Gopi vision. They used to see Krishna everywhere. So you see the world and you see only the divine. See, this is the 8th one. And then, seventh one. And then thereafter, mote sant adhik kari lekha. And now, when this type of experience comes, you start getting some powers. Now, don't think you have become a Tismar Khan. You continue to accept yourself, like Shabari is saying, I am a nobody. Don't start competing with those great masters who are abiding in the truth or are one with the divine. Otherwise we say, oh, what does he know? अपने आप को संत बोलता है, अपने आप को टीवी पे दिखाता है, अपने आप को आश्रम बनाता है, इतने सारे लोगों से पैसा लेता है, डिफरेंट. अब पुट्टपार्थी के बारे में भी कितने लोग उल्टा सीधा बोलते हैं. मैंने तो अच्छे महात्माओं को बोलते हुए सुना है. सो दैट मीन्स देयर इज सम त्रुटि देयर, सम शॉर्टकमिंग देयर. सो दिस, if you are a sant, these words cannot come out of your mouth. You cannot. Principle can come out, but you cannot have a competition or a comparison or jealousy because of some great master. You cannot. So beware. क्योंकि फिर Ravan was the master of the three worlds. He was the master of the three worlds. God is also master of the three worlds. God is also master. But then what is the status of Ravan? Is he like God? For the common man, he was like God. But he did it out of willpower. He did not do it out of devotion. And therefore he had to be killed. Because his ego was still there. His arrogance was still there. So here it's saying, when you start experiencing that the whole world it's just a bhav, that the whole world is an extension of me, Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sarasaksha Sahasrapat. I am behind all the eyes, I am behind all the ears, I am the one in everyone as consciousness. Then don't become arrogant about it. Don't put other masters down because of it. Don't think you are greater than the greatest and start making everyone touch my feet. Come on. Don't you know I am God? If you don't touch my feet, I'll curse you. Their words will come true also, but there are people like that. Ravan was one. Kams was one. Demigods are also like that. So don't fall into that trap, and that's what he's saying here. Atha jatha labha santosha. Whatever comes to your life, be content with it. Jatha labha. Our miseries are because I did not get that job, I did not pass that exam, I did not get that car, I just missed out, or get that property, I just missed out by 10,000. बेकार में नहीं है तो नहीं है. There's something better waiting for you. See? So, Jatha Labha, what is that? Jatha Labha Santosha. The eighth bhakti is, whatever comes to your life, be content with it. Because the more you demand, it will end up in greed. And there is no end for greed. Such a person is ever discontent with life. Nobody is saying that we must not look forward to achieving more. Do, but do it with a content that everything is fine at the moment, but if the opportunity is there, if the capacity is there, and I will do it, I'll expand myself. See? So, Athavai Bhakti, what Jatha Labha Santosha. It is very important to remain content. A discontented mind creates its own miseries. Sapane hu nahi dekhai paradosha. And such a mind which is content under all sets of circumstances which life is presenting to it, even in dream it is content. It does not see the shortcomings of other persons, even in dream. To that extent we have. So first we are working in the waking. Now that contentment where there is no urge to more. Planning we are not saying no. But that ek andar se khujli ki aur chahiye. When our mind has become settled, automatically we migrate that even in dream we have good dreams. And what are good dreams? Where saints and sages come and visit you, where gods come and give darshan to you, where you are singing bhajans, kirtans, such, and where you are not doing bad to anyone. Even in dream your sadhana is going on. Sometimes if you are chanting the Bhagwan's name and you go to sleep, and suddenly in the middle of the night, if you wake up, your mouth is chanting the mantra. So which means even in dream, your mantra was going on in the mind. You may not be knowing it. That's the different matter. So that is the eighth one. Navama sarala sabasana chalahina mama bharos hiya harashana dina navamahu ekau jinha ke hoi nari purush sacharaachar koi. This is the last one. The ninth form of devotion is saralata, simple-mindedness, uncomplicated behavior, not keeping a grudge with anyone, forgiving and forgetting. Move on. What's next? What's next? Lunch. So, we are sitting here, we are manipulating. Oh, what is she thinking? What is he thinking? Why did this person come here? What do they want from me? Should I be having friendship with this person? If a person has come with some problem in their life, why they come to me? Why can't they go to consultants? होता है. Why can't they go to consultants? नहीं, उनको तो वही चाहिए. तो be there, available. Expand yourself. That is an opportunity for you to expand. That is an opportunity for you to take that person, that family, that sometimes only an acquaintance into your embrace. Embrace meaning into your consciousness. And see if you are content, if you are not having this kapat, why he has come, why she has come, what do they want from me, are they going to be a burden on me, blah, 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 then we can never help such a person. But if we are saral, if we are simple, whatever comes, we accept that person as they are, without ifs and buts, and do whatever we can, in whichever manner we can, with whatever capacity we can, and that's it. And that is the saralata. This is the ninth form of devotion. What is? कहाँ गया? हाँ, नवमहु एकहु जिन्ह के कोई नारी पुरुष सचराचर कोई. And when such things happen, we do not have doubt, because the Lord is sitting in our heart and in our mind and on our lips continuously. Namdev Maharaj, so many people used to come to him. They used to say, I can't see, I have got paralysis, my young child is dying. And he used to say, I don't know, I can't do anything, but I can make on your behalf, I can present your case to the Lord. तो वो अपना अभंग करते थे, भजन करते थे, भगवान को देते थे, और अगले दिन वो child, whatever the situation used to be solved. So that was his connection, but he never said, I do it. He says, I don't know if it will happen or not, but I can present the case to you, present the case in front of the Lord. And then why people used to go to him? Because he had connection with the Lord. They did not have the connection with the Lord. So in this manner, where are we? The last one, Nari Purusha Sa Charachara Hoi. By practicing these 9 forms of devotion, anyone who has even one of them, a person is practicing and has imbibed in his heart, here it says that person, man or woman, whether it is inert or conscious, anyone it is. So whether it is man, woman, whether it is animal, whether it is mosquito, spider. Remember I told you one Narada stories once, first time. So then what happens? Mamada rasana phala. Nahi, koi gaya? Kahan gaya? सोई अतिशय प्रिय भामिनी मोरे सकल प्रकार भगति दृढ़ तोरे जोगी वृंद दुर्लभ भगति जोई तो कहूँ आज सुलभ भई सोई. He says that he becomes free from whether a person is male or female, animal or bird or a vertebrate, or whether that anything is living or not living, meaning Jad or Chetan. They can, oh beautiful one, again he says Bhamini to Shabari, he says, oh Bhamini, such a person is very, very dear to me. And oh dear, beautiful Shabari, you have all the 9 forms of devotion expressing through you, I have observed. Even if one is there, Bhagwan is saying, हम साधना किस लिए करते हैं? When we do japa, this, that, everything, we want to be one with the Lord, isn't it? But here Bhagwan is saying, if anyone has one of these devotions, I look out for that person. Now he has taken the responsibility. Right now it is our responsibility. But when it becomes, when the devotion starts filling us up, then it is Lord's responsibility. He cannot avoid falling into the trap of the devotee. He falls in love with the devotee. Right now we are trying to fall in love with the Lord, then he falls in love with the devotee. He says, they are very, very dear to me, and in you all these 9 qualities are there, and therefore all these 9 forms of devotion are naturally expressing through you without you even knowing them or practicing them. The moment Shabari, now concluding part, the moment Shabari comes to hear this, there and then she falls at the feet of Sri Ramchandraji, takes 3 pradakshinas and leaves the body. There and then that old lady Shabari, she through her Shakti, through her invocation of the Shakti, there and then her entire body becomes ashes at the feet of the Lord Sri Ram. And she doesn't become one with Ram. She becomes one with Parabrahma Paramatma, the formless, attributeless reality. The wave becomes one with ocean. But what is ocean is God, wave is individual, devotee. Being one with Parabrahma Paramatma means the wave realizes that it is the infinite waters, the absolute waters. Once you become one with the absolute, or you recognize yourself as the absolute, as the infinite, there is no birth. Ramchandraji, if you become one with Ramchandraji, Ramchandraji can say, okay, now you go and take birth again. He can tell. You will go to Saket. From Saket, it is relative mukti, it is immortality, but it is not liberation. Immortality means you have gone to the abode of the Lord, which is totality, and the Lord says, now the world is going on, see, I need some help there. Hanumanji, jao kaam karo wahan pe. Paramananda, go and do this job. Or anyone else, so many Mahatmas are there. But when so here still the rebirth is possible by the will of the Lord. You are not there anymore, but it's the will of the Lord. Such people who come by the dictates of the Lord onto the earth, they are called Siddhas. Those who become one with the Parabrahma Paramatma, no rebirth is there. And this is recognized by Hanumanji, but he chooses to continue. He knows he is Parabrahma Paramatma, but he continues. He chooses to remain as the devotee of the Lord, and Bhagwan was so happy with him. He says, ask me what you want. He says, as long as the name of yours is there on this earth, I want to remain on this earth chanting your name, listening to your name. And therefore, tomorrow Hanuman Jayanti is coming, and it's an opportunity. Chant Sundarkand at that time, or chant Hanuman Chalisa a few times. It will benefit. And with this is today's Satsang.
हनुमान चालीसा करें स्वामी जी?
हनुमान चालीसा कर लेते हैं। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी, भरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन भरण विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे। लाए संजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर रघुवर आए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई। सहस बदन तुमरो जस गावै, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीना। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेरि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज समारो आपै, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपै। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाय, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो शत बार पाठ करे कोई, छूटई बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि तेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महाडेरा। की जय नाथ हृदय महाडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसौ सुरभूप। सियावर राम जय जय राम, प्रभु राम जय जय राम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमा भई सब संतन की जय। आरती कर लो।